on. Are we official?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta take Travis. He doesn't know. Yes.
Hi everybody, this is Commander Alex reporting from Pagoda. Let me do that again. Hi everybody, I'm Alex from England.
And I'm Travis from Australia.
And I'm Sonny from America.
Today we're going to be talking about some don'ts about Korea. Things that you should not do when you get here, or things that you should be aware of. Who's going first?
I think Swanee should go first.
Me too.
Okay. So, mine is like, it can seem obvious if you're really observant of your surroundings, but a lot of people are not really used to this. But when you come to Korea, you should be very mindful of the location where you smoke cigarettes. In Korea, it is illegal to smoke in a non-designated smoking area. I mean, if you're like in some kind of like really countryside area, I guess it doesn't really matter. But in the city, there are designated areas of places where you should and should not smoke. And basically, don't smoke in an area that you're not allowed to smoke in. Even if it doesn't have the sign that specifically says do not smoke there, you know, you gotta be really observant. If you don't see the sign there, but you don't really see anybody smoking, you probably shouldn't smoke there. You know what I mean? Because it looks really bad. Like, I did go to the Han River, and which is like a park area. It's very nice. People are like having picnics and eating, walking, biking. And I did see some foreigners just standing there smoking cigarettes like on that sidewalk area. And it looked quite bad. I mean, I don't blame them because they probably just didn't know. But it did look really quite bad. People were staring in a not so good way. You know, so if you want to avoid that kind of situation, don't smoke in a non-designated smoking area. Yes.
Yeah. Rule of thumb, probably just look for anyone like smoking.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good idea.
Look for a Korean smoking, and then that's probably where you should. On my way to and from work, I have to walk through a bunch of like clubs and restaurants. And at night, there's just so many people smoking.
Right.
And I'm like dodging my way through.
Rule of thumb, main roads, it's a no-no, but the alleyways, it's a yes.
Yes, exactly.
The alleyways tend to stink of smoke these days.
You know, people smoke cigarettes a lot in Korea, so if you don't see anybody smoking in that area, you can probably just fairly safely assume you shouldn't smoke there either.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just don't smoke.
Ooh. Hot take.
This is like a general respect thing. It's out of courtesy. I've heard that it's like not as like serious these days, but like it's just part of the culture, and that is to give and receive things with both hands. But it has sort of, I guess, adapted, because it can be like a little bit awkward to like have to grab everything with both hands or take everything with both hands, especially if it's like something really small. So you can also just do this. Like, it's like both hands have to be involved in the process.
Right.
I made sure to do this quite a lot when I first got here, but I would always forget. So like every time I'd be like, oh. Whenever I'm like grabbing something, I'd be like, oh, thank you so much. So it's something that like is easily forgotten, but I think is like a really nice thing to do to just adapt to the culture and be respectful. Alex, I've heard that you have a different interpretation of where to put your other hand.
No. So I know that this is correct, but I sometimes would do that or that.
This feels very like
bad?
Showmanship. Like, look here.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's not common, I think.
Okay, well, she's laughing, so that means that obviously what I'm doing is stupid. Okay? I've just been going up to people going, and they've been saying like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Yeah.
I think it's the effort, like the fact that you are putting two hands into the motion, whether it's here or here, is correct. Anyway,
yes, I understand the culture. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to assimilate. Here is the thing that I'm handing you.
Yeah, I think people are like a little bit less strict about it like these days, but definitely to the older generation, I would maintain that always. Like with my older family members, my grandma and stuff, like you would never catch me grabbing something with one hand. Yeah. It feels wrong.
And in the age of food delivery, if somebody orders like a giant thing of pig's feet or whatever, they're not going to go, here are your pig's feet, sir. They're just gonna be
Yeah,
like,
right.
here you
It's
go,
true.
thanks,
Right.
Mashigeduseo, and that's it.
Right,
Yeah.
especially in this time of Corona, like
Mhm.
COVID-19, you know, like the delivery, they're just like, here,
Yeah.
enjoy, and you're like, okay, thanks,
Yeah.
and then just keep
Yeah.
going. Yeah. What about you, Alex?
I don't know if this counts as a warning necessarily, but you have to be aware of some of the cultural differences between dating in Korea versus, say, dating in your native country, particularly our native countries. Where I come from, when you date someone, usually what happens is maybe you get together, maybe you date, maybe you just hang out, and the relationship just sort of organically grows from there. There is no such thing as day one. Okay? If you ask me, like, my first girlfriend, what was our first day like together? I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't know what our first day was.
Mhm.
We met, we hung out, and then we started, you know, acting more like a couple, and then we just sort of organically grew into a couple from there. But in this country, I feel like I'll get a text message and it'll be like, "Are you my boyfriend?" or "Do you want to be my boyfriend?" or something like that, and I will say, yes. It's like, okay, this is day one of our relationship. Now you have to treat me like a boyfriend.
Wait.
And so suddenly you have to like go from there. Yes.
Wait, okay, when you say organically grows, because like, yes, like I agree that you guys meet and then like probably you're like friendly and then it becomes flirty and then like whatever, but like there's that point where we need to specify. We need to specify.
Yeah, no,
I need
that's
to
true.
hear. Yes.
That's true, but the thing is like there's no like line that you cross. It's just like, okay, have we crossed that line? Whereas in this country, you don't cross a line.
Until-
what
yeah,
happens
right.
is the
That's
sunflower
true.
just comes out of the earth and says, "Now I'm a flower." Like that's how Korean relationships work. Okay,
That's
whether
true.
it's ready to grow and get sunlight and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter. Just what happens is it's like, now we are a couple. Let's go on dates and buy each other things. And
True.
remember, our anniversary is on day 100. So
right.
yeah.
Right. That's like that's true. Some people like they don't start acting like a couple until it's established we are a couple. But like
Yes.
for us,
Yes.
we act like a couple even before it's established, and then after you've been acting like a couple, then you're like, hold on, are we official?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me clarify. It's not the same for everybody.
Right.
Like I've dated people in this country who they didn't want to specify what we were. Maybe because they lived in America for a little bit and they had maybe a little bit of a different mentality. So it really does depend. Not everybody is like this, but I would say in general, when you date someone in this country, you can confuse them quite a lot if you don't define what you are quickly. So
Just be conscious of it.
be conscious of it, and don't forget to buy those gifts on day 100.
Okay.
But obviously there are lots of don'ts, and you know we could go into heaps and heaps and heaps because obviously huge cultural differences. Like the big one I think that everyone should be very, very aware of, key important one, is shoes. Take your shoes off when you get into someone's house.
And some restaurants.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, the sit-down
Yeah.
restaurants. You never been to a sit-down restaurant?
No.
Oh, we gotta take
Ah.
Travis. He doesn't know. Yes.
Yeah, we gotta take Travis
Yes.
to the sit-down
Oh,
restaurant.
like
Yeah,
sitting
right.
on the floor?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Some of them
So
offer
good,
like
yeah.
little slippers and stuff, and they have a little shoe rack or shelves, and you can put your shoes up there, and
Compartment.
yeah, and you know nobody's gonna steal your shoes in Korea or steal any of your
That's true.
stuff. Yeah, so you can be like really comfortable.
Unless it's
yeah.
an
If
umbrella.
someone stole my shoes, I would say, you know what? He probably needs them more than me.
Oh.
It's very kind of you.
Oh.
Who'd steal? Never mind. Let's
Your
not get into that now.
your stinky shoes.
I guess I'm walking home barefoot today.
There are lots that we could go into, and we could talk about cultural differences because I think there's some misconceptions about Westerners. Not all of us wear shoes into our houses or like wear shoes on our beds. I think American TV is messing with people's minds. I don't know what you have to say for yourself, American.
Well, you guys know my mom's Korean, so we did not wear shoes in the house. Yes.
Also, it's very rude to point in Korea, so don't do that, Travis. Yes.
You.
You.
Yes. What's rude in your country? That's what we
Yes,
want to know. What
let
kind of
us
things
know.
what are the no-nos, the etiquette no-nos that you shouldn't do or that you should do in your country? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video
Comment.
And subscribe.
and hit that bell so that we show it right in your feed. Thank you very much, everybody, and bye-bye.
Bye.